Alright gang, I'm back. Unfortunately, couldn't find any good pictures of the Sharon Woods playground. Just the ones that I already knew about, like the bird house, or the nest, and the ball pit, and the inside the tree. Didn't have pictures of the good areas, like the little flower sack place. Okay, so let's recap what I was talking about. So, the ball pit. I forgot to talk about the ball pit, because I think the lower team, their starting position would be inside the ball pit, basically. It's like they would be kind of like submerged under the balls and kind of like stealth their way in, basically. Oh, lucky. So that's how the ball pit would work. And to recap what I just talked about in the last video, in order to conquer the Sharon Woods playground, you had to go up one of three entryways. There would be the tunnel inside the stalactite cave. There would be the stairway that's beside the elevator. And there would be the tree in the center, the hollowed out tree that you can climb up. The opposing team could have someone guard the tree at the top and just shoot down anyone coming up with their little ball guns or whatever have you. I feel like ink would make this a bit too messy, so we're not going to really use ink in this scenario. That'd be one way to defend the base. And I just remember the horse-drawn carriage room. It has like a rubber barrel that I don't really think you can. And the rubber barrel's like strapped to a wall, so you can't really take it off. But kids still take it off anyway by just having the belt go over it, because kids are little nasty buggers, let me tell you. And they could roll the rubber barrel down the stairs and push and take down anyone trying to climb up. And yeah, there's also the elevator, but you couldn't really use the elevator because it was only for staff. But here's a good way to incorporate the elevator. The elevator can only be used by the high team. It's inaccessible to the lower team because that would make it a bit too easy. The high team, however, is allowed to use the elevator for quick travel up and down the base. Or the playground. Like, say, if they roll the metal, or, whoa. So say if they roll the rubber barrel down, they would have to go down and pick it up. That would be a lot faster to do with the elevator. They got wrecked, but whatever. I just like talking about Sharon Woods. So that would be how the elevator, how the higher team could use the elevator. So yeah, I forgot to talk about the tunnel system when I was thinking of all this. So basically, one of the ways would be to go through the stalactite cave and climb up the playground via the tunnels. So the higher team could probably send somebody into those tunnels and basically fight back anyone trying to get in. And ideally, they would also go into the stalactite cave and kind of guard it. And if people come, and if the enemies come, they just punch the stalactites into each other. That'd just be so cool. Oh yeah, I just remembered. Yeah, So like the tunnels would basically lead up to a well that's in the center of the little western town area. Yeah, that's where the tunnels exit out, basically. There might be another exit point? I don't remember. I really wish I had some good pictures. Oh, we really gotta take care of this center area. Or not. And going off on my recap, one of the members of the lower team would start off inside the jail. You could get them out of the jail by putting a bunch of flour sacks down below the window outside on the lower floor and have them jump out of it, and then they could officially join the fight. Or you can make your way to the horse-drawn carriage room and get your teammate out using the little secret passageway, basically. That is only openable from the outside, not the inside. That would be how to get your teammate out of jail. So, to conquer the base... So, to fully conquer the playground, you need to basically secure the bird nest, which you can get to by climbing across these hanging bars. You had to secure the supply room, which is where in which you have to take down a little fort of rubber crates. But the enemy can easily rebuild the rubber fort. So you have to make sure it stays secure by the end. Now, as for the tunnels, there would be another... The other objective mark maybe would be in the tunnels, because there's this little kind of secret dungeon, basically, inside the tunnels. Like, it's like the deepest part of the tunnel, and there is actually a window so you can see inside of it, except for the very bottom part. So, that little dungeon area might be a secure point. Like, maybe there's like a secret treasure down there that you have to collect. And of course, the other team could easily ambush you as you're down there and take their treasure back and put it back. So yeah, that would be how to work that out. Alternatively, you could use it as like a different kind of dungeon to rescue another teammate, but we'll just go to the one jail for now.
I feel a little chilly. Would you okay if I turn the air up a little bit?
Yeah, if you want to. Oh, Jeremiah Hartley's here, yay. So... Alright, so the objective points are the nest, the little box fort, and the supply room, which I guess that involves just destroying the enemy supplies, basically. And then there would be... the treasure that's inside the dungeon. But to officially complete the game, once all those objectives are met, your whole team has to get onto the horse-drawn carriage and basically write it away. And of course it's stationary, so you can't move it, but it's the imagination, basically. Just pretend the horse-drawn carriage moves, and you write it away to victory after securing your victory, basically. And of course the other objective would be to rescue your teammate that's trapped in jail. I guess that's another objective. So what would happen? So when it comes to that, you can't really have a game like that without little battles and confrontations. Here's how I think that would work. Basically, both sides would have little ping pong ball guns that they would shoot at each other. Although you have to pick up the ping pong balls. So maybe just little laser guns like laser tag. So they had these little harmless laser guns, and if somebody gets four shots in a quick succession from any one of the opposing team, that person would be knocked out, basically. And by knocked out, I mean they would basically have to drag themselves over to an extraction point. So that would be what the slides would be for. If one of the lower team is knocked out, they had to go back to the ball pit and try again, basically. If they were on the playground at the time, they would have to be thrown down the slide, basically, or at least force themselves in the slide and throw themselves down. And then from the slide, you can make your way to the ball pit. Shame that the slide doesn't go in the ball pit, but I digress. I guess that'd be kind of dangerous. And of course, if they get taken out when they're on the lower field, then they can easily just walk to the ball pit. Now, in terms of the, so you don't just have to use the lasers to do the damage. You can also punch the stalactites at each other, the rubber stalactites, and one hit from those would count as 2 hits, so you basically have to hit the person twice with the stalactite to take them out. And the rubber barrel that you rolled down the stairs, that would be an instant takedown, because that would actually kind of hurt if you got hit by that barrel rolling down the stairs and just fell down the stairs. So that would be an instant takedown. And of course the barrel could take down multiple people at once if they were climbing the stairs. That would be a good strategy, actually. Because, like, say there's 2 people at the stairs. One person runs up the stairs, the other person is hiding. And when the stair person gets taken down by the rubber barrel, that would be when, and then the higher teammate runs down to get the rubber barrel, and then takes it back on the elevator. That would be when the second lower person ambushes that lower team member and takes him down, and then runs up the stairs. That would be the ideal situation, but then you might have to worry about someone else guarding the stairs. If they're not already guarding the other points. It's just, I won't care about this level. So yeah, that would be one of the strategies. There's basically 3 different ways to take each other down. Is if you roll the barrels, there's only just one barrel, or if you punch stalactites at each other, or if you just use your ping pong ball guns. Or, I mean the laser guns, whatever. Oh, there's those little tents over there, that's cool. if I can kill people from up here. Alright, this is my vantage point now. Alright, let's come down. Oh, that's a shame. Well, you get the Avenger points. Yikes. Well, that was stupid! How about I can make it on time? Now, I want to think of a better way that uses the flower. Actually, no, like I said, you don't have to take the flower down and throw it to the bottom, and just carry it to the bottom to make a safe jump for your jail teammate. You can just throw the flower down from where you are, like from above the railing onto a little target, and that'll make a safe platform for your teammate to jump down. Of course, then they have to climb up on their own to get onto the horse-drawn carriage eventually. Either way, at least they're out of jail, they can help fight. And of course, when you're inside the tunnels, that would make for some tricky confrontation, because there's no room to maneuver around. You're basically just shooting each other in a tight little space, hoping that the other person gets taken down first. So I was thinking, like, maybe another objective could be to load the sacks of flour onto the horse-drawn carriage before getting away, but, that'd make it a bit more complicated, and, I mean, the whole strategy is to throw the flour down to the bottom to make a platform, and that would just make it even worse if you had to carry it back up, so let's just remove that objective of taking the flour away. Maybe it could be, like, for bonus points or something, if you load flour onto the carriage. Now that I think about it, that barrel was actually really big. I thought it was like one of the slender barrels. It was actually a pretty big barrel that you could just sit on. It was kind of cool. It'll definitely do some damage if it rolled into you going down the stairs. So that's basically the 4 different objectives. You basically had to secure the bird nest. I gotta probably go into more detail about that, like how does that work exactly. But secure the bird nest, you have to take down the box fort in the supply room, and hope that the enemy doesn't fix it in time. And you'd have to go down to the little dungeon and get the treasure. And of course, you had to rescue your teammate from jail. Those are the 4 objectives. And once all those objectives are met, you have to ride the horse-drawn carriage and get out of there. Like, your whole team has to be on the carriage with all the objectives. And the time runs out, then the carriage will just drive away without you, and you're gonna lose, basically. You're pretty much stuck in the enemy base, and you're probably gonna get, imprisoned or killed or something. That's basically how the whole thing works. So that was, fun to think about, actually. I'm definitely gonna write that in a story. Well, let's just focus on our, Splatfest for now. Maybe I'll try to think of other things as my memory comes back to me about Sharon Woods. let's think about other strategies. Like there are these little hidden crevices within the wall on the lower area. That would be where like the teammates could hide and plot ambushes. Like when you're using that waiting by the stair strategy, that would be a cool place to hide. I gotta use the bathroom because I thought too much. I guess this will be my last battle for this video, and then I'm gonna like take it easy for a while. I gotta jot these ideas down because they're just so fun. Oh, Mommy's here. Hi, Mommy. Alright. Wow, that was actually a really close match. So that was a fun little discussion we had just now. When we come back, I'll have used the bathroom, and we can probably focus more on these actual battles. Though we could probably... Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna go.